You retired into 3 bear markets. Count them, 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3 bear markets. Did your money survive? All right. I've been thinking about this a lot because we have now 23 years of experience starting in the year 2000 for this century. 23 years. We've had 3 major bear markets: 2001 and 2, 2007, 8, and 9, and then last year. I'm not counting Q4 2018. It wasn't an official bear market. And then I'm not counting Q1 of 2020, the Valentine's Day massacre, because while that was an official bear market, both those things came and went within the next quarter. So they're not long enough to make any big impact. So I'm not counting those, even though they're truly, if you want to count 2018, we've had 5 bear markets essentially in this century. But I don't want to count those too quick. We need the long bear markets. And in 2022, the stock market bear wasn't that bad, as the bond market bear is the worst we've ever seen. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 different funds, and then we're going to add a couple after because Portfolio Visualizer only gives you 3 at a time. So we're going to go to Portfolio Visualizer. We're going to look at the Fidelity Balance Fund, the S&P 500 Index over at Vanguard, and then we're going to look at the Wellesley Income Fund that Wellington manages. Now, I'll probably use Wellington in a second here too. I'm on an anti-Wellington diatribe because the woke crap, the woke crap is nothing but anti-whiteism. It's nothing to get to create racial animosity. That's all there is to it, and it doesn't benefit anybody. It's other than the globalists. If the globalists can get us at odds, they win. And we just got to stop in its tracks, man. And you can't support companies that are woke. You can't. I'm going to do another video to prove this here later on, to prove this how bad it was when it, not just for Silicon Valley Bank, but the regulators. And just if they're going woke, you are going to go broke. Those guys don't. You do. You have your money invest in these guys. All right. Again, more of that to come. All right, so let's check this out. So here we got the Fidelity Balance Fund, which I'm a big fan, long time, first time. S&P 500 and Wellesley. All right. We got $100,000. We're starting in the year 2000. 100,000 schmackers. We're taking 5,000 a year. That's 5% a year, adjusted for inflation. Oh, sorry, baby. Oh, it's okay. And we're going to see how this shook out. All right, so we're going to come down here. And first, let's go to exposures of these funds. So Fidelity Balance is right here. 80, a little more aggressive than I thought. 80-20. Yeah, 80-20. So, actually, no, it's about 80. Ooh. A little bit more aggressive than I thought. Fidelity Balance. Oh, that's just on the stocks. Okay, gotcha. Whew, I was going to say, that seems... All right, gotcha. Whew, I was like, dude, what? All right, so Fidelity Balance... That scared me for a little bit. I was like, whoa, what's happening here? All right, so Fidelity Balance Fund... Yeah, here we go. All right, so... but what is the... All right, here we go. Portfolio 1. Fidelity Balance, 20% short-term, 11%, that's 31, 30, I can't tell, that's bonds, emerging markets. So you got it's about 70-30, exactly right, about 70-30 stocks to bonds. They got any cash, and they show cash on here? I don't see any cash. All right, so then we know the S&P 500 is 100% large cap. I'm surprised they don't have any mid caps in there, but I guess they're all large cap now. And then we have the Wellesley Income Fund, which is 26%, 46, 40-60. All right, so we got a 70-30, 100% stocks, 40-60. And we're going to come down here and see what's what. What's what? We're going to see what's what. How dare you, Josh. Check out this, by the way. I just figured this out. What's this right here? Oops. Where's this? Ooh, not that one. Let's get right here. Whee! How awesome is that? Oh, that's freaking fantastic. All right, anyway, well, I'll be using that a lot, dude. All right, so what happened here? We're going to scroll down. Compounded annual growth rate for the Portfolio 1 Fidelity Balance Fund was 0.86%. Why has it got nothing for? Oh, I have 0.86%. Wellesley is 2.47. Why is there no compounded annual growth rate for S&P 500? Because we ran out of money, dude. Max drawdown, Fidelity Balance Fund was right there, 47%. Drawdown is period, November 2007 to February 2009, 47%. Look at that. Yeah, that's nuts, man. drawdown recovery by February 2011. It took basically 2.5 years to come back. And here's Wellesley. Here's S&P 500. Max drawdown 100% because you lost your money. You never came back. Isn't that crazy? Pretty scary, dude. Oh, but I can handle it. Can you? Can you in retirement when no more money's coming in? All right, let's keep going down here. Standard deviation. Again, Wellesley is a third of that of the S&P 500. Fidelity Balance is, I guess, 2/3 of the S&P 500. Twice the Wellesley, but 2/3 of as risky as the S&P 500. Any volatility. Anyway, so let's keep going down. Here's S&P 500 done. You fell out of money. You fell out in November 2016. So your goose is cooked. Here is Wellesley, which is portfolio 3 up here. Portfolio 3 did best. You're at 151,000. Even you took 5% a year adjusted for inflation. You still have 50% more than you started with. And that's with the bond market just getting hammered. We didn't make any money in bonds for a long, long time, but because we eliminated your downside risk to some regard. I don't know how you can't look at that and say, yeah, I literally will have people out here all the time say, oh, 60-40 or 70-30, stocks, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I don't know how you can look at that any other way and say bonds gave you this protection that stocks did not. And we see it with our own very eyes here, man. S&P 500 ran out of money. The Wellesley not only did not run out of money, actually outperformed Fidelity Balance, which was 70-30. But significantly, by the way, because now you're taking 5% a year off 151. Fidelity Balance, you're taking 5% a year off 115. I mean, it's just no two ways around. Well, I guess it's December 2016. That's what it is. All right, so anyway, so what you can see here is you can see at the 2016, Wellesley had 151,000 in it. Fidelity Balance had 115. So now we get rid of the S&P 500 because it's gone. I guess they stop you. I guess they stop you. They don't keep going. I wish they'd keep going here. All right, so let's eliminate the S&P 500 here and just see what the other two did. Right, there we go. That should be. We should now be able to see what the 2023. Yeah, there we go. I'd imagine Fidelity Balance is doing better now. Because from 2016 to 2023, the bonds didn't do much. Let's take a look. Pretty doggone close. So look at that. Yeah, still Wellesley is still sitting at 152. It had no growth from 2016, except the fact you're taking 5% a year off a $150,000 portfolio. I don't know, what is that? 5% a year, 150,000. 150 times 0.05. That's $7,500, dude, adjusted with inflation. I mean, and now so we're sitting back still well above where we were. I don't know how else you can. So now if we look at compounded annual growth rate, we still only average 1.54 for Fidelity Balance because we're pulling 5% a year off. Wellesley, we average 1.83. And again, same thing on our worst years. I mean, I don't know how else you could look at that and say the stock market gives you better upside, and I mean better. Well, I guess you could say it gives you better upside, and I mean we can look at it right here. Let's add back the S&P 500. I just don't know how else you can look at that and say, hey, let me just show. We go to 2009, and you'll see the S&P 500 is going to smoke both these guys because bonds didn't do much. But again, it's a downside risk, dude. So here's the S&P 500. Yeah, way up here, portfolio 2. Okay, but that's fine. But even here's Wellesley still at 151. I mean, that's what taking 5% a year out, man. Anyway, so let's go back to. Does it give us total how much we've total took out? I can't remember. I don't think it does. Annual returns. I don't think it gives us income specifically. Let's do a inflation adjusted. So adjusted for inflation, this is. Let's go back to 2000. All right, we're gonna go back to 2000. We're gonna again get rid of the S&P 500 because it didn't make it. Raining now. All right, so here we go. 2000. We're gonna inflation adjust this. Adjusted for CPI being inflation, which I can't stand, but we're just gonna run with it. The Fidelity balance is sitting at 79,000 in real dollars. Wellesley sitting at 85,000 in real dollars. So we're going to take whatever. I mean, I don't know what the portfolio return would be. The 5% would be off this. 23 years from now. I guess you could do a quick calculation. I don't know. But anyways, you're probably taking pretty significant amounts of money out now. But this is real dollars. But here, I mean, so you can't say real. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but you're not in real terms. You're still only taking 5,000 a year out. So if we take 5,000 a year out of a, what's that, $80,000 portfolio? Is that what $80,000? So 5 divided by 80, we're taking 6.25 out, dude. But we're 23 years in retirement. Most of us are trying to plan for 30 years. So 6.25 out for 7 years left before we die, most likely. That's no big deal. I don't know how else you can. I don't know what else to say when it comes to making sure the downside is protected. Now that you're getting good rates on bonds, dude, it's a whole different ballgame than I used to do these videos on stay away from bonds. Those days are over now, man. Now, in some way, I feel I should take down those videos, but I'm not gonna, because it's it shows you the movement of histoire. We're not freaking the FBI erasing history, man. We're trying to build on history from our learning from the past and build on it for future. And I think we're doing a good job of that doing here. But man, if you're still look, it's your money, what you got to do, man. I'm just telling you. But you see the bond market is paying us higher than it's done in freaking 10 to 15 years. The stock market valuations are still pretty high relative to where historically it's been. And I even hate to say that because we don't know what the future holds. We don't know. But we see at the end of the day the downside risk, and this is with a 5% withdrawal rate, dudes. The S&P 500 didn't make it. Fidelity balanced, Wellesley both did. Why? Because they minimized the downside. What more do you need to know? All right, we'll do another video here on Wellington, and we'll do 6% a year as well. All right, see you.